Fragrances I love and fragrances I hate. I've been tagged. How's it going, YouTube? I hope you're all doing well. My name's Grant. This is 2 + 2 = fragrance. Welcome to the channel. If you enjoyed today's video, I'd really appreciate it if you could like, comment and subscribe to the channel if you've not already. And turn on your notifications so you'll be made aware of any future content. You can also follow me over on Instagram at 2 + 2 = fragrance. So today we're going to be looking at fragrances that I love and fragrances that I hate. I was tagged to do this video by my good friend Claire over at the YouTube channel Claire Smith. If you've not checked out her channel, make sure you do so because she's got some fantastic content. I'm going to have to change my video up a little bit for this tag because Claire actually did, I think, 6 fragrances altogether. 6 she loved, 6 that she hated. I honestly have not smelt 6 fragrances that I could honestly say I hate, and I've smelt hundreds if not thousands of fragrances, but I've only smelt a few that I could actually say I hate. So I'm going to be doing 4 fragrances that I love and 2 fragrances that I hate. The fragrances that I'm going to do that I love are going to be ones that I've not had on the channel as much as other ones. One of them I've not had on the channel at all, but the other 3, they're fragrances I've probably not spoke about as much as I have a lot of other fragrances. So when you think of fragrances that I love, if you watch this channel, you're going to be thinking Layton, Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme, Le Mal de Parfum, 1 Million Privé. None of them are going to be on here. I've gone for 4 that I've not spoke about too much. Like I say, 1 that I've not spoke about at all. So let's get into it. I just wanted to quickly say before I show you my first fragrance that I'm going to leave this video as an open tag. So anyone who sees this video, who fancies doing it, feel free and I'll look forward to seeing your video. So the first fragrance we're going to take a look at is one that I love, and it's this one. Bulgari Man in Black. Now this is a fantastic cool weather fragrance. I got this last Christmas and I've been so impressed with this one. Some of the notes in it are rum, spices, iris and tonka bean. And it's just a classy fragrance. That little touch of iris, it's not massively prominent, but it just gives it that little bit of class. You've got the spices and the rum that give it a nice masculine feel, and a little bit of sweetness from tonka bean. It's not got a massive dose of tonka bean either, just enough to give it a little bit of sweetness, to give it a bit of mass appeal. But this fragrance just smells absolutely beautiful. It's classy, it's smooth, it smells of really good quality. And like I say, I've been really impressed with this one. So that one was Bulgari Man in Black. The next fragrance we're going to take a look at is another one that I love, and it's this one. Paco Rabanne Black XS. Now I got this one back in the collection a few months back. Can't remember quite how long. It's maybe 4 or 5 months back. I did have a 50ml bottle of this a few years ago and I loved it. And for some reason, once I finished it, I was buying other fragrances and I just didn't get around to getting another bottle. I probably didn't have this fragrance for about 2 years, maybe 3. But yeah, recently got it back in the collection. And I remember how much I love this one. It is a bit of a youthful fragrance, to be fair. The way the sweetness comes across, because it is very sweet. It does come across quite youthful. And I am 42, but I don't really care because we just wear what we want, don't we? Some of the notes in this one, you've got a lemon, you've got cardamom, cinnamon and praline. And yeah, like I say, super sweet, probably from that praline. I'm guessing it's got probably tonka bean in there as well. I don't pick it up massively. The sweetness does feel more like it's coming from that candied lemon and the praline, because the lemon doesn't come across realistic at all. It's more like a lemon sweet. So you've got like a super sweet lemon with that sweet praline as well. And I'd say there's more cardamom than cinnamon because the spices come across cool rather than warm. Quite a unique fragrance, to be fair. I can't say I've smelled anything that smells like this. It's a very... If you know the smell of this fragrance and you smell it, you'll know it's this straight away. It's one of them easy to identify fragrances. It's like a sweet, cool lemon with spices in there. It's a really nice one. I love it. Paco Rabanne Black XS. So the next fragrance we're going to talk about is one that I hate. And like I said earlier, I've not smelt many fragrances that I actually hate, but this one I've smelt a few times and I really don't like it. Obviously, I don't own this fragrance because I hate it. But yeah, I've smelt it a few times and I definitely hate it. It's Gucci Guilty Absolute. Now, some of the notes in this fragrance are leather, vetiver, patchouli and woody notes. And yeah, I really can't stand the smell of this one. I've smelt it quite a few times in store. I've sprayed it myself on a strip. I've smelt other people spraying it on themselves and in the air. And to me, it basically smells like a piece of leather covered in petrol set on fire with some kind of medicinal smell sprinkled on top of it. That's probably the best way I could describe it. I know a lot of people love this fragrance. And you know, if you do, fair play. I'm sure there's a lot of fragrances I love that people really don't like. But yeah, Gucci Guilty Absolute is one that I just really don't like the smell of. So moving on to another fragrance that I love. And this one I absolutely love. It's the Chronic from Byron Parfums. This is 100% one of my favourite fragrances. I go back and forth with what my favourite fragrance is. I think it's hard to pick just one favourite fragrance when you've got so many. Sometimes I think it's Leighton, sometimes I think it's Red Tobacco, sometimes I think it's the Chronic. But what I can say is this is one of them fragrances, like Leighton, like Red Tobacco, that when I'm wearing it, I think to myself, I don't think I've smelt anything better than this. I just absolutely love this one. Some of the notes you've got in here are amber, cinnamon, sandalwood and musk. And this is a very unique fragrance. I've not smelt anything like this. Every time I wear it still now, I'll pick up different little things that I've not noticed before. So every time I describe it, I think I've described it slightly different. It never gets the same description from me. But what I'm getting from it at the moment, because I wore it a few days ago, it's sweet, it's spicy, it's smooth, and there's like a smokiness to it. You definitely get the cinnamon and the amber. The amber comes across almost vanillic. But what's not listed in the notes, which is probably the strongest note I pick up, is caramel. You've got like this smoky caramel with the sweet spiciness. And then you've got a smooth sandalwood and musk with like a smoky feel going on. Definitely a unique fragrance. A strong fragrance. This just cuts through the cold air and smells fantastic. One of my favourites. Absolutely love it. The Chronic from Byron Parfums. And the next fragrance we're going to take a look at is another one that I love. And it's Zerg Naxos. What a fantastic fragrance this is. Some of the notes in this one you've got a lemon, tobacco, vanilla and honey. Oh, this fragrance smells fantastic. This is one of the more well-known niche fragrances. I'd say quite a lot of people know about this fragrance. Through the opening and the mid, you do get quite a lot of lavender as well, which gives it a different twist. But the main notes throughout this fragrance to my nose are the honey, the lemon and the vanilla. The tobacco comes in a bit later on, and to be fair, the more I've worn this, the more I pick up on the tobacco. I thought it was a very light tobacco note when I first started wearing this fragrance, but it does come in a lot more as it dries down. But yeah, really, if I was going to describe this fragrance as simply as possible, it is a tobacco fragrance once it dries down, but it's lemon, honey and vanilla that support that tobacco, and that's basically what you're going to get. There's quite a few other notes in it as well, but to me, lemon, honey, vanilla, tobacco. It's sweet. There's a freshness to it though from that lemon and the lavender that you get early on. Never becomes too heavy. I've worn this one on pretty warm days. It is suited better to the cold weather, but I've worn this on warm spring days. I've even worn this on summer days where it's not too hot. I wouldn't wear it in the scorching sun, but this has got enough brightness in it to work almost all year round. As long as it's not really, really hot, you're good to go with this fragrance, and I absolutely love it. That was Zerg Naxos. And the last fragrance we're going to talk about is another one that I hate, and it was called Great Sea. This was Perfume Parlour's version of Auto Parisi's Megamare. Now, I've tried to get the notes for the Perfume Parlour version and Auto Parisi's Megamare. I've not managed to find notes for either fragrance, so all I can tell you is what I smelt. I had a sample of this a couple of years back, and I sprayed it on skin, which I wish I hadn't, because 2 little sprays filled up my kitchen, and all I could smell was loads of salt, some kind of chemical. I don't know what it was, but it just smelled quite harsh, very chemically, and celery. They're the 3 things I could smell, and it was super strong. I scrubbed it off the best I could, as quick as I could, and covered it with another fragrance. I had it on my skin for about 5 minutes, but yeah, it was just like chemical, salt, and celery. It was really, really not nice. I have no idea what the original Mega Mare smells like from Auto Parisi. I know that's a loved fragrance. I would actually be interested to smell it after smelling the Perfume Parlour version, how bad it smelled. So maybe I will one day, but yeah, that's the other fragrance that I've smelt that I actually hate. It's Great Sea, the Perfume Parlour's version of Auto Parisi Mega Mare. So they were some fragrances that I love and some fragrances that I hate. Thanks a lot to Claire for tagging me to do this video. I've really enjoyed it. And you guys let me know down in the comments some of the fragrances that you love and some of the fragrances that you hate. I love chatting to you guys, love getting a conversation going. I'll always respond to your comments. As always, thanks a lot for taking the time out to watch this video. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, keep smelling amazing.